Today we're driving to Wyoming. But first, we're going to make a detour west in order to drive what is, in my opinion, the most scenic section of interstate in the whole country. Then we'll discover a very remote dispersed camping spot as we slowly inch our way north towards America's last frontier, where no Minitini has ever gone before. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Continue on West Pikes Peak Avenue for 3/4 of a mile.
We haven't gone this way yet. Anyway, change of plans. We're gonna keep driving to the west a little more because it is such a perfect weather day that I want to take that iconic drive on I-70 crossing the Rockies, probably all the way to Glenwood Springs, as long as the weather cooperates and holds up. So, and then we're gonna take some of the back roads north, and eventually in 2 days we'll be in Gardner, Montana. So here we go. Well, here you go. Wildlife at 3 o'clock. Nice neighborhood, by the way, with a nice view of Pikes Peak. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take I-25 north, go around Denver, and then I-70 west, and eventually north towards Wyoming. Saying goodbye to Pikes Peak one last time as we go north on I-25. There it is, the front range of the Rockies. What a beautiful sight. You can barely see it, but that's the Denver skyline in the distance. And that over there is the Red Rocks Amphitheater. It is supposed to be an amazing concert venue, both for the unique setting and the perfect acoustics. Someday, perhaps. This is it. Here we are on I-70 West, as will be for the next 170 miles. And these mountain views here are the reason why we take I-70 West. Here on the right, the Casino Parkway to Central City, which we did back in 2014, as now we immerse ourselves deeper into the Rockies. Idaho Springs here coming up, the gateway to Mount Evans, the highest paved road in North America, just a tad higher than Pikes Peak. We also did that back in 2014. We keep getting higher and higher. Pretty soon, we'll reach the Continental Divide. At over 9,000 feet of elevation, we reach Silver Plume, which used to be a silver mining camp. We are getting close to the top. And we've reached the top. Well, almost. We're about to enter the Eisenhower Tunnel, which goes under the Continental Divide. It is the highest and longest tunnel, and the highest point for that matter in the entire interstate highway system. When it opened in 1973, it was actually the highest in the world. When we exit the west portal, we'll be at 11,158 feet above sea level. That's 3,401 meters. We have emerged on the other side. Now we have nowhere to go but down. Now arriving in Silverthorne. Pretty soon, we're going to take our first break of this leg of the trip, at what is perhaps one of the most beautiful rest areas in the whole country. This, on the left, is the Dillon Reservoir, and coming up is that rest area I was telling you about. One of the most scenic ones I've ever seen. Well, we were really hungry, so I ate the bacon already, but I think this certainly qualifies as breakfast with a view. Oh yeah, that was a good breakfast. And this is one of those places, you know, just a rest area here, a scenic area here on the side of the road. Probably the most scenic rest area, one of the most scenic rest areas in the whole country. Right here off I-70. It's, as I've said before, it is one of the most beautiful drives in the United States that is not like a designated scenic byway. You know, this is just plain old I-70 going through Colorado. And now it's gonna get even better, not better, different when we get to Glenwood Canyon. And this was a change of plan, as I said, I think. No camping here. I was gonna go straight north, east of Denver, but we're having such a great weather day that I think it was worth it, this detour. And now, right west of Glenwood Springs, that's when we're gonna take the northerly route. Really? He's gonna take a picture now? Okay. Let's stop by Walmart real quick. Wow, take a look at this place. This is one busy Walmart. I give up. There's no way. Let's go somewhere else. Well, the reason why we are at this Walmart is because we're not even a third of the way to Alaska and I already cracked the windshield here. So, I mean, rock out of nowhere. But I figure, you know, go to a Walmart, big parking lot. But this is like the busiest Walmart with the smallest parking lot I've seen in a long time.
Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. Driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. Getting into Utah, Colorado, high above sea level is my motto. Into the thin air, I might see a bear. Nothing like the west doesn't compare. Driving through the west in my RV is where I wanna be.
scenery is starting to change ever so gradually. It's starting to look a little bit like Utah.
Driving to the west. 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 Driving through the west. Driving to the west. Driving to the west. Driving to the west.
Before we continue, this video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. And VPN, Virtual Private Network, is very important for us travelers because many times our only option to connect to the internet, and we have to, some of us are digital nomads, so we just want to know what's going on. Sometimes your only option is to connect to a potentially insecure internet like a campground, Wi-Fi, hotel, coffee shop, and you don't know if that connection is secure. Some of them don't even have passwords, so a bad actor could be eavesdropping on that connection and potentially stealing your passwords, your identity. That would be a bad day. So that's what it does. That's its main function. It creates a private, secure connection between your devices and the internet, but it has other features. There's a clear web feature that gets rid of unwanted ads, potential malware. There's a true incognito search for your eyes only, and my favorite feature, of course, is the fact that you can teleport. Well, we kind of teleported. We're not in Colorado anymore. But seriously, you can teleport virtually as far as the internet is concerned, pretty much anywhere on the globe. So if there's any content that is unavailable at your particular location and may be available somewhere else, well, you can access it. And that's a great feature. Now I have a special deal for you guys. If you go to surfshark.deals/MyRV and you enter promo code MyRV at checkout, you will get a very exclusive deal and 3 months for free. We're in Alaska, by the way. Now back to Colorado. This section of I-70 from Denver into Utah is considered an engineering marvel, and we're getting to one of the best parts, Glenwood Canyon, the last segment of the interstate system to be completed back in 1992. So, fun fact, I-70 has 2 claims to fame, being the first interstate through Missouri and Kansas, and the last one, right here. The body of water to our left is none other than the Colorado River. And you see my dilemma here? This place is gorgeous. What do I edit out? Y'all want to see the whole 15 miles uncut? Well, sure, why not? Let's do it. This is the whole reason we took this detour, so that we could drive through here. Talk to you on the other side. This now, what you're hearing, is actually the original music I composed after driving Glenwood Canyon for the first time back in 2014. Coming out of the canyon, we arrive in a lovely college town called Glenwood Springs. Let's fill up, because where we're going, it's gonna be pretty remote. Part of me wants to continue towards Utah, but we have to focus on our final destination, which happens to be to the north. And to the west too, but not necessarily this west. We actually want to cross into Canada at the Glacier National Park in a couple of days. And here's where we turn off the interstate and take the road less traveled north towards Wyoming. Here we go, we're taking State Route 13, Lucky 13. Now, we've never been to this area before. Beautiful landscape as we traverse this valley going north.
Welcome to Wyoming.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's the sign somewhere out there. Yes, we are now in Wyoming, arriving at a town called Baggs. Population 411. It is raining a little bit, which makes me nervous about our boondocking spot for tonight. According to freecampsites.net, the road is in good condition, but you never know. Here, 15 miles north of the state line, we're going to turn left onto Robbers Gulch Road. There's no camping on the first half mile or so, but the rest is supposed to be all BLM. The road seems to be really good, and it is a beautiful landscape. Here we are, on high ground, which is important, and it seems like someone has camped here before, so yes, I think this is it. I think this is where we're gonna call it. This is called Rubber Gulch Road, I believe, here in Wyoming. This is supposed to be a BLM land. Feels remote. I mean, we're right next to the road, but we haven't seen anybody go through this road in the half an hour or so we've been here. So it should be a fairly easy turnaround tomorrow morning. We have mountains over there. The nature is pretty. We're like about 3 miles in from the main road. And I'm gonna cook us some dinner, and tomorrow at the crack of dawn we hit the road.
Not very level, are we? And the plan is to make some grouper a la butter, but the grouper is still frozen, so plan B. We've got some beef kielbasa. Let's chop an onion. Let's chop a green pepper, which is half frozen. RV refrigerators tend to do that. Whatever you put in the back freezes. Butter, onions, camp mix seasoning, green peppers, more seasoning, and smoked paprika. I almost forgot, garlic. A little bit of cooking wine and we'll let it evaporate. Finally, let's add some broccoli.
Definitely not what we had planned to cook today, but I mean, not necessarily the most gourmet meal, but it's gonna be good. Cheers.
By the way, this seems to be like an old natural gas field. So lucky that we found a place like this to spend the night.
Good morning.
What a great way to start the day, with wild horses.
Well, this was a very cool off-the-radar boondocking spot here. We just, parked right on the side of the road. There were reports that there were like fire rings, and I haven't seen any of those. Maybe we'll see them now on the way back. But this was very cool, very super quiet. Just one semi-truck that went through this morning back and forth, and we saw wild horses, which was actually really cool. Now we continue north in Wyoming here. We continue north, here on Wyoming State Route 789. These all seem to be natural gas fields, and after all we've seen, I gotta say, not the most feature-rich landscape. Here we get on Interstate 80 for a few miles. Once again crossing the Continental Divide, going back east. Let's fill up, because you never know where the next gas station is going to be, and continue north on US 287. Once again, we cross west of the Continental Divide, which is something I have a feeling we'll be doing a few more times during this part of the trip, as the plan is to follow the Rockies all the way to Canada and beyond. Some of these formations look like red ocean waves frozen in time. once again we see the snow-capped peaks of the Rocky Mountains. At Sweetwater Station, we turn north onto State Route 135 towards Riverton. Once again, a total change of landscape. Wow, that almost looks like the Badlands. Eventually, we arrive at Riverton, at the Wind River Reservation. I see an auto parts store, so let's see if I can finally buy that windshield repair kit. The tiny crack hasn't gotten any bigger, but you never know. Alright, I was able to get a windshield repair kit, so as soon as we get to the campground, or maybe tomorrow, we'll do the repair. The crack hasn't, it's just a chip. It hasn't really grown any over the past 2 days, so I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, I doubt we're gonna use it until we get a bigger crack. Let's break for lunch, and we've got horses. Now we are arriving in Shoshone. Let's fill up the tank because after this, we're going to the Wind River Canyon, which seems pretty remote. Oh, here we've got something I had never seen before. It's like a slot machine. That's pretty cool. Modern. Only in Wyoming. This body of water, the Boysen Reservoir, and there seems to be camping. The Brannan Campground at Boysen State Park. If we ever return to this area, I would love to camp here. We're about to enter the Wind River Canyon, and this was one of those things not necessarily part of the plan, one of those scenic drives you stumble upon going from point A to point B, as long as you stay away from the interstate. Let's see all this from a higher perspective. is so beautiful out here. I just love the American West, and this canyon epitomizes that. I see some menacing clouds. It looks like we may be in for a change of weather once we exit the canyon. The sight of Round Top Mountain is a clear indication we're arriving in Thermopolis. As the name would indicate, Greek for hot city, the town is famous for its many natural hot springs. And those clouds keep getting darker and darker. Here we're going to take State Route 120 towards Cody. Thermopolis here, pretty good looking town. That's kind of the direction where Grand Teton should be, but that doesn't really look like it, so maybe not. Now descending onto Minitini, and someone recommended we visit a chocolate shop here, Minitini Chocolatier. Well, someone recommended we visit Minitini Chocolatier here in Minitini, Wyoming. He's got all kinds of good-looking Belgian-style chocolates. Not the friendliest guy in there, but hopefully the chocolate is good. I have high hopes. Let's give it the taste test. Supposedly he makes them every day, fresh, so... Okay, here's the deal. If you're driving through State Route 120 on your way to Cody, or from Cody, and you have a sweet tooth, yeah, sure, why not? But it's really not worth going out of your way for a chocolate. And that guy has an attitude. It's supposed to be fresh, no preservatives, made the same day you eat it, so... Alright, we've got 46 more minutes to Buffalo Bill State Park. It's been a long day. Don't get me wrong, the chocolate was good. Great texture, but it was a little too sweet for my taste.
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah, I'm riding, I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah.
On the next one, we're going to visit Cody, Wyoming, and then we're going back to Yellowstone National Park as we continue, slowly but surely, inching our way towards the last frontier. Until then, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road.
riding in